It's L-I-L, man. J-O-E-C-O-C-A-M-O. Holla at me, man. Somebody want y'all to do for me on this one, man. Come on now, say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know me, you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know me, you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know me, you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know me, you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know me, you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know me, you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. Y'all know me, L-I-L-J-O-E, same OG. Back in the club and I've been low key. Pass that drink, pass that weed. To the bar, let's get tipsy. You know Hennessy and ice on me, and I'm gonna get it straight bubbly with the free to the top in the VIP. So put them grands up, go on, put your hands up. Cleveland in here, I want everybody to stand up. We been drinking, the beats banging, so man up. And we sweating bad, so gut the cut. Put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know me, you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know me, you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know me, you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. Oh yeah, she wanna ride with a star tonight. No, she wanna ride with a baller, right? Oh no, she wanna ride with a hustler type. All day, all night, with me, for life. She wanna drop the top and talk and walk and make girls wanna model. She wanna sip out of Gravy's bottles, ride good out of brand new Tahoes. Oh yeah, 150 on the throttle. Oh yeah, she's bad like hollows. Everywhere she go, they follow. Underneath her clothes is cargo. The riches up, escort go. The riches up, escort go. Put your hands up, wave side to side. You know me, you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. You know me, you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. You know me, you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. Take it to the top, bring it down real slow. Take it to the top, bring it down real slow. You know just how it go. You know just how it go. Take it to the top, bring it down real slow. Take it to the top, bring it down real slow. You know just how it go. You know just how it go. Come on, girl, get that cash. Come on, girl, get it fast. Make that man spill his glass. Make that man spill that cash. Come on, girl, break that bag. Then ride off in this jag. Make that man give you half. Revoke his ghetto pass. Put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know what's going down tonight. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. I say it, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know what's going down tonight. I say, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know what's going down tonight. I say, put your hands up, wave side to side. If you know what's going down tonight. I say, put your hands up, wave side to side. I say, put your hands up, wave side to side. Yeah.
Are you gonna listen to the move?
I've been out the loop since '09.
Yeah, I'll be back to get at that dope. Check this. I'm at the motherfucking house last night. Guess what the fuck I see?
What you see?
Shamika, what's up?
Fuck you think you fucking with? It's Maxwell, bitch.
Fuck you in them shoes.
Bitch, I'm about to stalk you with these shoes.
I thought I told you to get a jump to Crazy D.
I did give it to Crazy D. You know D, you must have seen money in that. You know he used to produce those nudie DVDs.
Fuck you, thin man. I know you did it.
Don't let your mouth write a check, cause I will take it out on your ass. Damn, man. You serious?
I don't appreciate being roughed up by men. Or should I say male bitches.
Yeah, you gonna work out.
And we look for young ladies like you to host them.
I look like somebody that can host your videos.
That's right. So go change, cause we ain't got all day.
Get off the house.
Really good, though. What you on that bullshit?
Crazy. What the hell? How you in my room?
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms.
Here's the thing about your movie, why I made a curator's pick of the Hollywood Fringe Festival. Community, heart.
What's going on, people? Welcome to another great episode of #ObservationTFR by Crazy D, featuring my special guest host, my sister Tanya M. Congress. Let's check out the sound. Let's see how you're doing this morning. Go. There's a problem, Houston. I have no sound on you. We had sound earlier, but we don't have sound now. Go out, come back in. All right, people. So while we wait for my sister to come back in, welcome to #Observations. We want to shout out to all of our viewers on Periscope, Vimeo, a certain social media site, and the Film Review Life channel. The Film Review Life channel on YouTube. Make sure you go there, you smash the subscribe button. I need to see some subscribers on the channel, right? Because, sometimes I think that the numbers are being skewed wrong when I see the results, but then something else is happening. So smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, share this video, smash the like button, because we're getting ready to bring some information that you will definitely want to hear. All right, so we have my sister Tanya back. So how's your morning going?
My morning is going fine. Are you able to hear me? All right. I don't know what the heck is going on, but all right. So today, every day we always talk about what we have nutritious. Today, actually, all I have is my ginger soaking in water here, sliced ginger, and I have a cup of tart cherry juice with not cumin, but turmeric mixed in that, and then I have a corner of coffee left from this morning. But I feel great this morning, and as Dee said, smash the like button, smash the Cash App button, and for you trolling family members who peek in just to see what's going on, smash the like button. If you're gonna take the time to log in, at least smash like, and if you don't like, send it to somebody else who might like it. All right, thank you. But good morning, D. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing as well as could be expected under the circumstances. Listen, people, we have a jam-packed show for you today. What is the show about? We've been talking about film, independent DIY filmmakers, right? Because, Friday we have Keith Lee coming on from Stockton, California. He's a Stockton, California director and independent filmmaker who has his latest piece on Amazon Prime. And we're going to be talking to him on Friday about that, talking about his career and all that. But in between time and in the meantime, we are talking the elements that make it possible for you to create a film. And today's topic is very unique, right? It's very unique because the whole topic is the independent DIY nature of filmmaking, part 3. This is part 3. We do our series now. We do 5-part series, but this particular one, part 3, is subtitled "How to Make Quality Movies Your First Time Out." If you are an enthusiast who is inspired to be a filmmaker, who are using whatever device that you are using, we are here to show you how to make your first film quality, your movie quality the first time out. So smash the like button, smash the share button. The chat is open on a certain social media site. We see you there. We want to say good morning to everyone that is on that certain social media site. And also the chat is open on the Film Review Live channel on YouTube. That's right, the Film Review Live channel on YouTube. It is on. So let's go through this. How are you guaranteed to make a quality film your first time out? Is it luck or is it knowledge of the rules of filmmaking? Crazy D takes you through a course of study. Making good film or making good films is more than just picking up a camera. Not only do you need to know sound, image, angles, you have to know the rules of filmmaking as established as what DW Griffith depicted in The Birth of a Nation in 1915, which features the long established techniques of telling a story through film. What are the basics and what are the advanced techniques DW couldn't have dreamed of? Crazy D gives you a brief look at his Howto series, available for rent on Vimeo OnDemand. Let's discuss. The phone lines are open, 213-943-3358. Not only are we talking about film today, but we are taking a history lesson, because you have to know. Smash the share button, smash the like button, subscribe, because we are taking a history of film today. We want to let you know where the modern techniques of film cutting actually came from, and you're going to be shocked when you hear it. 213-943-3358. Right? So, but as we always do, let's start off with some memes. These memes most definitely deal with what we're talking about today. As we always warm up and to get to ready, set, go, to hit the rubber to the road. I heard them say rubber to the road on a certain television network just yesterday, and I'm like, people don't usually say hit the rubber to the road. But anyway, people are listening. Okay, all right, come on, you're a little slow on the uptake there. There we go. All right, this meme right here comes from my sister, right? And this is good doctoring foods, right? Good foods that can keep the doctor away. You see the stethoscope, and you see these different greens like kale, mustard greens. You see green juice. You see romaine lettuce, right? You see cabbage. I haven't had a good cabbage in a long time. I think I'm going to have to go buy one and season it with some Beyond Meat or something. But anyway, let's talk about this real quick, because to be a filmmaker, not only do you have to have the ability or the necessity to fast. Matter of fact, I'm on a fast right now. But you have to have the ability to fast, but you also have to have the ability to put the right foods into your system so that your brain is working to full capacity. So go ahead, let's talk about this real quick.
Yeah, these things are all dynamite to have, and the majority of them I keep in my diet on a regular basis. You have to be able to, and we talk about this all the time, you got to be able to think clearly. And as a filmmaker, as Dee said, you have to be, he's fasting now. So even when you're not fasting, though, you should be keeping a consistent diet that include these foods in it, because it helps contribute to your brain power. The more green, the more functional your brain is. The more starches and carbohydrates, the less functional your brain is, even getting into the long term. So you got to be able to think quick. I mean, now we don't have time for it. Like however many facets comprise your lives, you don't have time to be slow transitioning and switching gears. You don't have time for that. You know what I'm saying? The time is moving. We were born in a matrix, in the middle of a maze, in the middle of a house of mirrors. And so you're going to have the navigational skill, both internally and mentally, to navigate through all this madness. So take a look at this meme. I'm sure a lot of you, these are common foods, but you don't want to kill the foods. You want to, if at all possible, as much of this as you can take in raw, try to take it in raw. But if you're going to cook it, try to cook it not above 112 degrees, which is basically braising it with a little seasoning, like a warm salad. It would be likened to a warm salad, if possible. Now, don't get bound up. We're not putting any kind of, legalism on anybody to say don't cook your greens. You want some mustard greens with some smoked turkey meat or whatever, that's what you do, then do that. Stay away from the pork, though. I'm not going to sanction the pork. Stay away from the ham hock, the shanks, the salt pork, all that. Stay away from that. You can do the turkey, smoked turkey or whatever, okay? But, even that, try to get away from there. There's something called liquid smoke that you can put in the greens that kind of adds that smoke flavor or whatever.
How are they going to take away the first big meal of the year for those that are eating the big meal with the turkey and the stuffing and the macaroni and cheese and the macaroni salad and the potato salad and all the different dishes that are there? How are they going to take that away from you? Gotta sometimes be careful about who you vote for. But anyway, let's keep moving. This comes from our niece. I got my dad's temper and my mother's mouth. Laughing with tears. That's why I'm always in trouble. Just throw the hands up and say, skip it. I got my dad's temper and my mother's mouth. Laughing with tears. That's why I'm always in trouble. Oh well.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. I thought that was a good one. And I said, yeah, I got to post that one today, show that one today. Okay. Here we go. This is very important. Smash the share button, smash the like button, tag people in this, because we are telling how to make quality movies your first time out. How to make quality movies your first time out. And we're taking you on a history journey too about film, where it comes from. In the age of information, ignorance is a choice. In the age of information, ignorance, people, is a choice. We often talk about that, but we don't say it in those concise words, but we're pretty concise and precise over here, so we don't need to say it in those words, but you know, here we go. Here's one. Don't waste your energy arguing with these MFers right here. I'm just going to say Uncle Ruckus, the coon, nor the sheep. Don't waste your energy in argument with these MFers right here. Uncle Ruckus, the coon, nor the sheep. Don't argue with that. Okay. Did you know that there are some sick farmer type people who would take a sheep? They say that the sheep have the inner workings like a woman, and they take the sheep up to a hill and they insert their manhood into the sheep and push them towards the hill, and the sheep automatically backs up, thus causing the pressure that brings about pleasure. So in other words, sheep also get effed. We just wanted to say that. We just wanted to give that information. My father had told me that years ago when they would give the people a dishonorable discharge for taking the sheep up to the mountain. Those country Caucasian boys and all. Go ahead.
First of all, that's nasty, and you don't know what other kind of, with a mixture of fluids, human fluids with animal fluids, what kind of mixture, concoction that's going to come up with. But anyway, you know, with regards to sheep, for those of you who are teachers and people who have inherited the blessing of being able to lead people, sometimes it's a blessing and a curse. But in lines of sheeple or people that are sheep, Christ said, my sheep know my voice and another they will not follow. A lot of times when you're trying to teach people and they are adversarial, realize that it's not your voice that they hear. So once you have determined that, referencing back to the meme before this one, that if any person be ignorant, let them be ignorant. And in 2021, make it up in your minds. This is an encouragement for y'all to not hold any long discourse with anybody who act like they are dull of hearing, because they're dull of hearing your voice. Let them go hear the voice that they're attuned to and accustomed to, and you keep it moving and you speak to those who can hear you. That's all I wanted to say to that.
All right. So let's keep moving here. Smash the share button, smash the like button, because we are bringing information today. How to make quality movies your first time out. You say, how could that possibly be, D? Yes, but it's possible. It's probable. The probability and the possibilities are very probable and possible. Fitness is not just fitness. Fitness is personal growth. Fitness is mental health. Fitness is therapy. Fitness is transformation. Fitness is accountability. Fitness is confidence. Fitness is strength. Fitness is peace. Fitness is so much more than just working out. But they said so much more than just fitness. But you get the point, right? That's a good meme. That's a great meme. Get the shout out to Dwayne Bright. He put that out. I thought that was a good meme to say. Now, here's another. If you have any aches and pains, you may have a little author. We're not saying this is just observation and opinion. It is not. We're not medical professionals, but just from experience, okay? So, right here. Let's bring this up right here. This is another one. 6 anti-inflammatory herbs that annihilate pain. Do you know what that is? Pain must be in pain because it's getting annihilated by these 6 herbs. 11 herbs and spices that are those part of herbs that Kenny King stole from the black woman. But anyway, what you gotta say to this?
Turmeric is not something I do daily, but I'm doing it today. And ginger is something I do daily, all day. Basically, I munch on ginger and fenugreek. I have fenugreek here, but I was mixing that in my skin regimen that I use, my mixtures. But those things are anti-inflammatories because that's often where the pain comes from, is that there's some kind of buildup, some kind of infection, something that is causing your body to swell in places. And so those are anti-inflammatories. And just so many of you know that coffee has a lot of sodium in it. I didn't know that it has a lot of sodium in it, and it contributes to it contributes to inflammation. So you want to keep ginger and turmeric, and also add to that list tart cherry juice. Tart cherry juice is commonly for gout, but it's also for any type of pain. So if you mix turmeric with tart cherry juice, and ginger, that's a good pain fighter.
Wow, I did not know that coffee had a lot of sodium in it. Is it in the bean, or is that something that's added once they ground the bean? Which one is it?
I believe it's a byproduct and a preserver. If you know that most of your preservatives always have a lot of sodium. Frozen food, canned goods, and anything that's stored in packaging has a preservative, and so I believe the sodium comes from that.
Oh, wow. People just thought they were drinking coffee. Wow, that is new. Got to read the packaging, people. Okay, this comes from Dr. Boyce Watkins, right? Karen Harris. Kamala, let me be nice. Kamala Harris says election is a wonderful win for the Indian community. Let's keep moving. I just had to let that sit there for a minute, right? Okay, so let's bring that down. I mean, have people caught on yet? I've seen people, they've stopped. I haven't seen as many people pushing Kamala Harris, the black woman. I haven't been seeing that lately. So maybe people woke up from the dream and found out that they just helped to contribute to a nightmare. But anyway, New Orleans mayor, from our people at Hollywood Unlocked, New Orleans mayor cancels Mardi Gras parades in 2021. New Orleans mayor cancels Mardi Gras parades in 2021. You know, if I hear one more person say that we're headed into a dark time, if they're using the word dark, right? There are people who use the word dark that didn't know what it means, but when they use the word dark, they are racist. If they use the word dark, it is dark. If we're going into a dark time, this is going to be a black situation. That is anti-black. Okay, dark. That's dark. There's nothing wrong with dark. Your eyes adjust and your pupils dilate to see in the dark after you come out of the blinding sun. The sun is nice, but the blinding light can be blinding sometimes, like this past election. But anyway, let's keep moving here. All right. Do your part. Stay apart. This comes from Dave Tolliver. Shout out to Dave Tolliver, Man at Large, Black Pavarotti himself. Do your part, stay apart. The movement to get people to stay apart, to separate, to segregate is in full motion now, and people are going along with it, hook, line, and sinker. And you know, if there's one party that knows about segregation, for surely it is the Dixie. Excuse me, I'm being nice because we have to have people catch up, and they're gonna see. And as they see, they're going to catch up. So we want to tell you, people, if you enjoy what we bring to you, and, you know, why wouldn't you enjoy it? Make sure that you grab your QR code and scan the Cash App on the left or the PayPal on the right and slam a few ducats. Smash a few dollars on either one of those platforms for $TFR Podcast Live. $TFR Podcast Live. Make sure you drop a few dollars. And if you don't have a QR code, you can go to your Apple store or you can go to your Google Play store and get a free QR code. It scans many different types of barcodes, and scan these and it takes you right there, and you can put in your dollar amount, and we will appreciate you doing so because we work hard to bring great programming to you. We bring a great presentation, and so we thank you for your donations, and let's keep moving forward. Okay, people. So now we're ready to have the rubber hit the road. All right. So now let's get started here. Now, DW Griffith. Look up DW Griffith. Tanya. Griffith. Smash the share button, smash the like button. This is very important. This is information. Because we had to watch this travesty in film school. So we're gonna and you could probably see it on YouTube, but we're gonna give you some information that you probably don't know. Look up D.W. Griffith, right? Who was D.W. Griffith?
D.W. Griffith was an American film director, widely considered as the most important filmmaker of his generation. He pioneered financing of the feature-length movie. His film, The Birth of a Nation, 1915, made investors a profit, but also attracted much controversy as it depicted African Americans in a negative light and glorified the Ku Klux Klan. Intolerance, 1916, was made as an answer to his critics, but not as an apology for the negative images of African Americans in film. Several of Griffith's later films were also successful, including Broken Blossoms, 1919, Way Down East, 1920, Orphans of the Storm, 1921, but the high costs he incurred for production and promotion often led to commercial failure. He had made roughly 500 films by the time of his final feature, The Struggle, in 1931.
All right. While I'm talking, look up United Artists. Who formed United Artists, right? All right, people. So look, D.W. Griffith, not only is he the one who created the finance system that modern Hollywood still works today, he is also single-handedly the one that propagated and promoted the negative stereotypes of American blacks in this country with the film Birth of a Nation. But you know what? The Birth of a Nation, right? Not to be confused with Nate Parker's A Birth of a Nation. And I bet you if you knew this information, you would have been packing into A Birth of a Nation to make it outshadow The Birth of a Nation. But anyway, listen. When you watch the many different stereotypical movies, the stereotypical shows that you see over the many decades began and was focused, all of those stereotypes were focused in the film The Birth of a Nation, 1915. It's a silent film, right? But he does some things in the film which are the modern techniques of cutting film. He is not only the father of how the finance system goes in Hollywood today, he is also the father of bringing the stereotypes of American blacks. His film is also credited with reinvigorating and bringing the Klan back into existence. You ready for this? And he is the father of modern cut techniques on film. The close-up, the mid-shot, the wide shot, the track shot. All of this, you can see this in this silent film from 1915, The Birth of a Nation, which was a propaganda film because American blacks were making their way and they had to, and in his opinion, I would say, I'm going to take a little liberty there, in his opinion, they needed to put black people in their place. Now, so when you watch film, let's make this clear. When you watch film and you see the buffoon, you see the black man lusting after the white woman, you see the lazy, shifty Negro in film. When you see the happy-go-lucky darky in this film represented by black children. See, they have black, see, you can always tell a segregationist, they will always want to be around children. They had little children, black children, playing the roles of little black children, but the black male role was played by a Caucasian in blackface. Let that sit for a minute. Now, we're giving you a history here because before DW Griffith, films like Edison's film were one wide shot, and then it would cut to another wide shot of another scene of maybe a train coming or the great train robbery. They were all wide shots. There were no close-ups on the people showing their emoting. But by 1915, D.W. Griffith created this. So you give the man credit for what he created, right? But he also brought about the resurgence of the Ku Klux Klan, the stereotypes of American black men, the stereotype of American black children, and there are people in this society today that watch this film who are racists, who are segregationists, who are accelerationists, you name it, they watch it and they build their thought process about what American black is through this film and they stick with that. This is what you have to understand. This is how suggestive film is when you use the right cuts. We showed you the right cuts yesterday in the promo ad for the Black Ice Chronicles, and I asked my sister, was the woman actually there in the scene? Or was that shot at a different time and cut together? That's master cutting. Now, smash the share button, smash the like button, because if you are doing only wide angles, if you're doing Thomas Alva Edison, the Nickelodeon images from the turn of the 18th to the 19th century, something is wrong. And so we're going to, something is wrong, and you need to be up on it, because by 1915, this racist DW Griffith created the modern cut style in black and white. Tell me about United Artists. Who is United Artists and who created United Artists? Who are the 4 or 5?
United Artists Corporation, currently doing business as United Artists Digital Studios, is an American digital production company founded in 1919 by DW Griffith, Douglas Fairbanks, Mary Pickford, and Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin.
That's right, people. So listen. Mary Pickford, Douglas Fairbanks, Charlie Chaplin, and D.W. Griffith create United Artists. And you know what's in none of those films? Have you noticed, except for the blackface and D.W. Griffith? But let's move off of that for a minute. So when you watch, you know how they say how brilliant a filmmaker Charlie Chaplin was. When you watch Charlie Chaplin as the quote-unquote tramp, and you see the edits and the big head and the mid shots and the wide shots and the various angles, he's doing his variation of his co-founder, one of his co-founders of United Artists. He's doing his variation of D.W. Griffith, which makes you wonder, Charlie Chaplin seemed to be benign. I won't say benign, like a benign. Oh boy, they're trying to clip us. They're trying to clip us. What's going on? Warnings. Boy, I'm bringing too much truth today. Too much truth today. All I'm doing is just bringing the truth of what's going on, right? Charlie Chaplin, especially as the tramp, seemed benign. But he had a person that was a racist. So in that case, do birds of a feather flock together? What do you think, Tanya? Do birds of a feather flock together?
Yep. And I'm going to say why that is. When you consider holding hands with a person in a venture, and you know what they're about, now either you got to admit to having some form of jellybackness, or you're feeling that they can contribute something to you that you don't have, and you need it just that bad to get what you got to get done. And either event is still jellyback to me. And to stand with the person who believes in a particular philosophy is to say you're okay with it. If you're standing with them, you're standing in agreement. Whether you adopt that philosophy specifically or not, you still standing with that person. That person represents the philosophy. You're standing with the person, then you're standing in agreement, whether you formally agreed or not.
So, the key to making great film today is to know that cut style and to advance away from it and do new cutting techniques, new styles that are beyond that for the American black person, right? Other than that, you are cutting DW Griffith. When you create a film and you are writing buffoonery, you're writing black people bulging their eyes wide. When you write stereotypical pimps, there's a way to write a pimp that is full-blooded and fully human, fully recognized. But when you start writing, say, I don't know what eyes going. That's a coon. That's DW Griffith. Oh man, we've got to go here today. We've got to go here today. Did you think that it would be just that easy? Did you think that we would go through talking about film and not talk about the responsibility of American black people to know, to watch D.W. Griffith's The Birth of a Nation, 1915, played in the White House. Who was the president in 1915, Tanya? Look that up. I think it was Hardy, but I want to be sure. I don't want to say the right thing. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Played in the White House, and the president
Woodrow
Wilson. Say it again so everybody can hear.
Woodrow Wilson.
Woodrow Wilson, and he said that it was one of the most finest creations of art, and he played it. He had screenings. Guess who was speaking against it? Any of the black leaders, NAACP, Booker T, W.E.B. Du Bois, and you produce content where you are a buffoon and you don't even know where it came from. It came from a Caucasian. I can't even say that he's necessarily, but I'm not gonna go there either. But I'm gonna say he's Caucasian to me. And so D.W. Griffith, those stereotypes come from a film that D.W. Griffith created. And what else was going on around that time? The minstrel show. We've told you about that, right? So he took what was once on stage and brought it with venom to the film and made the Ku Klux Klan look like they were an avenging group that was noble. But you don't know none of this, and you write buffoonery. You write stereotypical gunplay. You don't write the character fully human. What makes the person move the way they move? So you need to be taking notes on this, because what I'm telling you now is when you write a character, you have to research a character out, not on the surface level. You can't be on the nose. You have to go and research a character out and then make them fully human. Why do they do what they do? There's always a trauma. But if you just write a character surface level, I ain't be got no weapon. You're writing coons, and you are writing D.W. Griffith, and you are helping D.W. Griffith. Let me say this again. When you watch movies today, you see D.W. Griffith's influence, even as far as the stereotypes and most definitely the edits of film. I don't mean to indict anyone. I don't mean to do that in any aspect whatsoever, but you as an American black, just for yourself, deserve more than writing characters that you could see in black and white in silent film back in 1915, in the first film that was considered a blockbuster, the way that film is cut still today. The Birth of a Nation. What you got to say to that?
You know, all while you were talking, I was looking up, because when I looked at this guy's picture, I'm like,
He looks like he looks like he was passing.
Yes, absolutely. So, because we would recognize those things, right? So I'm like, I see some you shaking the tree. I see some black falling out of it. So so I go to look him up, and I find it very interesting with certain people. When you go to look them up on Wikipedia, as a common search, tool, that Google brings up. And you go to Wikipedia and they don't say anything about his nationality. They just say he was an American filmmaker. He was in America, but they say nothing about his background. They say that his father, he was the son of Jacob Roaring Jake Griffith, a Confederate Army colonel in the American Civil War, who was elected as a Kentucky state legislator, and he was raised Methodist. So they go right from him being an American filmmaker, who his father was, who was he had some notoriety, right into what religion he was, which the religion is Christianity. The denomination is Methodist. But I found that very interesting. I found that on other searches too, with other people, that I can look at and say, some black is up in that tree, some black is there, and they don't ever say their nationality. So what I did was I came out of that and I said, what is the nationality of DW Griffith? It is nowhere in searches. He's an American filmmaker. He's an American. That's his nationality. He's American.
Yeah. So look. Let's go over this again. Let's be very, 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 very clear. I want to be concise and precise. If you write characters that are surface level, that are American black, you are writing what was in D.W. Griffith's film, The Birth of a Nation, full of stereotypes. And you have to see this film. It's up on YouTube. You should definitely watch it. It'll be an eye opener. You'll say, I see what? 1915. Right?
What else is going on there?
Okay, go ahead.
You had mentioned that it was a propaganda film, and that just preceded the time of propaganda in Nazi Germany as well. So that was flowing right on into right after 1915 and going into the 1920s and 30s. We were dealing with propaganda. So it was all about presenting pictures and presenting things that were going to leave an imprint on your mind, and they were building your truths for you without you being investigative. And so that's what they were implanting in your mind. Consequently, most of our television broadcasting for black people consists of a lot of buffoonery. So it has transitioned out of movies into TV series. And this is basically all we're seeing amongst us on television. Very rarely is this not buffoonery.
But what else, when you study, you find out what else is propaganda? Could you have been a victim of propaganda on certain things and not have known it?
Absolutely.
Right? So People, smash the like button, smash the share button, tag your people in this because we are going places. Now, how do you make a film great from the opening gate? Your first film, how to make quality movies your first time out. The first thing is you need to know where movies come from. You need to go back and look at the Nickelodeon and look at the difference and then watch DW Griffith's The Birth of a Nation. And you know, I tried to search this too and they gave nothing. They had them not connected at all. I said, is DW Griffith related to Andy Griffith? You know, I had searched that, but they had them come up apart from each other though. So I didn't know, but you know, you never can tell. These are prominent names with the last name Griffith, and you would wonder, are they related? You know, because Andy Griffith, it's the Andy Griffith Show. Come on. Then later in 85, oh, yeah. Right? And what did you notice that you did not see in Mayberry?
Right.
You never saw it. You never saw it, but we sat there and watched that show and enjoyed it. Had the Hilljackers come out the hill, always wanted him to marry their daughter. Remember those episodes? Remember the Barbara Eden episode when she came into town from a bigger city and she wanted to be a nail technician? That's what she was in the other city. And all the guys were googling her and goggling her with their eyes. And at the end of the show, Barney and Andy watch her as she walks, and they cut to their POV, and she's walking down. And it's like doom, 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 and then it comes back to Andy and says, "Sure is good that we're a friendly town." He walks back in. Barney is still looking after her, but they talk about American black men being fresh. I'm just going to use that word, fresh. Because D.W. Griffith did not paint American black men as human. And some of us pick up those same thought processes about each other when all men, it's back in this 1950-something program, there they are all over her, just whistling and everything else. But anyway, to know how to make a great film, you have to know this history. It's very important. Once you understand and you have a understanding, middle standing, overstanding of this history, then it's upon you then to write entertainment that is not detrimental to American black people. When you watch the Black Ice Chronicles, when you deal with the unseen, you often deal with the unforeseen. Black Ice, or it doesn't matter if you're in the model game, the music game, or the music game, it's all the same. When you deal with the unseen, you often deal with the unforeseen. Black Ice, all of the characters are fully drawn out. They're not stereotypical. They can be as wild as they want to be, but you see in them humanity, because that's what was stripped from us back in 1915 in film, because it had been tried to strip it away, but after we were freed, we started gaining, and that's why they had to bring it in film to strip it away, so that for generations after generation after generation after generation, people would still look at you as something less than. So your ability to write characters, if you don't know how to write, you should take some classes on writing. Okay, if you don't know how to write, if you don't know how to type, you should, and don't know the home keys, you should really take a typing class. It makes it so much easier. I'm just giving you how to make film, how to make quality movies your first time out. You have to have this always. This is always in my mind. And what I found is, I've wrote scripts for a couple of different people. Like I told you, when I did the shifter went on to do great and win me awards in film festivals, right? Placement in film festivals, featured debuts in film festivals, right? And I wrote that for people, right? And they took it seriously. That was Cleveland. I've written pieces for people in Las Vegas, and in film school they teach you, right? I did the shifter before film school. I just had the ability of watching film and knowing how images worked, and coming from a DJ background, making remix CDs, chopping, you're just adding visuals in with this chopping, so it was already natural, you just added in visuals. But in film school, they said the greatest compliment to an actor that you can do is write something especially for them, because it's their spirit and inspiration in it. Even if the character is total opposite than them, you wrote it with them in mind. I've written that, and I had this one person. I gotta tell this story. This is funny. I had this one person. I wrote this piece, and ultimately he didn't get a chance to finish the piece because I went in and found somebody else to finish. But I wrote it especially for him, and then he was talking about going out to LA to this, what do they call that? Oh, look, they're trying to clip me. And I'm just telling him information. But anyway, look. So he was going out to the American film market, right? Now, I had researched the American film market. One, you need a team. You need a team of at least 10, because or hopefully 20. That way they could go pass out the flyers, get people to come to the room. You have to pay for a room. I forget what the prices are now. Now it's digital because of COVID, but you have to pay for the room. They have to come there. You had copies there. They purchase your copies, and then they repackage the copies and get them and distribute them out into other markets outside of the American film market. But they call it the American film market because people from all over the world come to pick up film. So I had to research that. So I said, well, do they have a room? No. I said, do you have a team? Do you have flyers? I'm big on flyers. No. We're just going out there. We're going to be standing around. First of all, you're not going to just stand around with your product, because people paid $1,700. I'm just going to throw that out there. $1,700 to get this room. You're going to be bust out of there. It would have been better for you to come finish, because when I finish what I do, it comes out and people are proud to have been in it. You see? And I wrote some other things. So I've had nightmares, but then again, this is a transient city, so I've had a couple of nightmares, but I've had quality actors though, like 2, right, that I could call on and they come in and they deliver purposefully. But I never got that until I got to Las Vegas, because so many people talk so much, so many people talk so much, so many people have gift the gab and they take people for something, or people believe them and then it doesn't pan out, so they'll be a little jaded. But that's not my problem, because every time I say I'm going to do something, it comes to pass, because life is short. We talked about it. How to make quality movies your first time out. You have to be about finishing the product and releasing the product. We're giving you everything that you need. Now, you know, I have a how-to series, right? And we're repackaging it now, and it's going to be back up on Vimeo, but we have a how-to series. How to go about making your films look good. So we're going to go through a couple of them to let you see. You see, we teach, right? And that's what we do. We teach. So let's play this right here. This first one is on the rule of thirds. Remember, we talked about there is rules to filmmaking, right? Rules to filmmaking. So we're going to talk about the image, and then afterwards I'm going to speak on the structure of how scripts are supposed to go, because I get tired of looking at films where it's just a bunch of dialogue. Pictures, it's called film, it's called movies, moving pictures. It's about the images. It's not about the words. Words can come up, but they are minimal. It's about the moving picture, how you connect images together to tell a story. That's what film is. And if you don't know that, you shouldn't be in it. If you don't know about DW Griffith and you've been producing buffoonery and you're American black, you should not be in it. Because it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. Now, I'm not trying to indict anyone. But if you want to do something, you have to be educated at it. I get tired of listening and watching films. I'm talking about all people, whatever race you are. I'm listening to your film and your sound dips, and then the picture goes over here, or I'm sitting here looking at 5 minutes of dialogue between two people. The image is a wide image or medium, sitting body shot. And I'm sitting here at 5 minutes, no emoting, no close up, no big head, no various different angles. That is trash. And that's why they don't submit their films to the film review, because they know that we're going to tell the truth, because we're about integrity. But that's trash. If you do not know, all you have to do is just watch movies. If you want to make a movie, watch movies. You want to know what a film is, what a movie is? Watch it with the sound off and watch the movement of the images. And your film has to pace, because film was moving pictures. There was no talkies. Look up when the first talkie was. I know it's the jazz singer Al Jolson. When was the first talkie? The first talkie. What year was that?
1927.
1927. Okay. 1915. 12 years later. 12 years later, you have the first talkie. And what does D.W. Griffith's movie, The Birth of a Nation, have in common with the jazz singer Al Jolson? You know, the one that was singing, "Mammy, how I love my mammy. I bet you he did love his mammy. But anyway, they had a Caucasian and black face. This is what you're fighting against when you're delivering your film. And we're not talking about being preachy, because I watch a lot of gospel films and I see coonery in the gospel films. What I'm saying is the characters have to be fully drawn out and they have to have a human heartbeat. People have to, when you watched Boys in the Hood by John Singleton, Ice Cube's character was not a coon. He wasn't just someone out there, going out there just shooting and killing people for no reason. But he did go and get the one who was out there for no apparent reason out there killing. That was killing the coon. But you draw and write films where there are coons that are successful in the picture. But Cube's character was full human and for a heartbeat. You felt him. And at the end, when they wrote what happened to him at the end, everybody should have seen that film by now. Everybody was like, oh man. And people who actually was in the lifestyle, not the lifestyle, in the culture of the gang culture in California at the time, were coming out of the movie crying, saying that finally someone captured what we actually go through. Right? Not sensationalism. It was entertaining, but it put the message across and it got out that it was that death amongst American black people in the so-called hood is devastating and really worth nothing. It makes you lose lives. That was the message of the film, right? That life is snuffed out for no reason. That was the message of the film. It wasn't just shooting and killing and then they drove off and then the film faded to black. What makes Superfly, the original, so good is Priest, though he is a cocaine. Everybody should have seen Superfly by now. But if not, it's not going to ruin, because I'm not giving you the plot of the film. Although he was a cocaine dealer, his heart was he wanted out of the game, and they kept pulling him, things kept pulling him back into the game. His partner couldn't see his master plan of getting one last lick and then breaking up the money. He said, why should we do that? If we get a lick like this, then we can do like that. So they showed you, and they showed you what was the motivation behind his friend's decision to not necessarily go Priest way, Youngblood's way, through his dialogue. So he was fully drawn as a character. He wasn't just stabbing or going against Priest like the way people write films and you don't know why they're doing it. They're writing coons, not fully drawn out characters. Okay. All right. Hopefully that'll come back. Okay, there it is. It's perfect streaming again. They clipped us for a second. But anyway, he was a perfectly drawn out character. The opposite, being a friend, but being the opposite, kind of the foil to what Priest wanted to do. And Priest was fully, his whole thing was get out, I'm tired. That's what sets the Mac. What sets the Mac apart is the woman who is the foil in it, who is one of his women who are out there on the stroll. She is fully drawn out, and you see why she does what she does, because they were once friends before she decided to go his way, and he started treating her like she was nothing more than any of the rest of his women. And you see it fully drawn out, and you see him fully drawn out as a person that wants to get out too. You see? It's not somebody that's saying, oh, the difference is an example. The difference between NWA with Q and NWA without Q. With Q, please, Mr. Dope Man, you think you're slick. And then the Dope Man dies at the end. After Q, NWA, real ends don't die. They never die. They never die. Right? Fully drawn out images versus coon images. And I'm not saying that that NWA, the remaining people in the group were coons, but they were just not aware to what they were creating, because one, they were going against him, which was self-hate, which means that you will only draw upon coonish behavior, because only coons are self-hating towards other black people. You see, so we're breaking this down for you, man, as clearly as we can as an American black filmmaker, and for those Caucasians who have not been past their 5 blocks and think they know what black culture is. They've never been in the hood before or the neighborhood, and they think they know, and they think that people should talk a certain way and walk a certain way. This is for you too, because you'll probably get a chance to greenlight a film sometimes, before American blacks will. But you need to draw out the characters fully, and if not, you need to get like when Blazing Saddles, right? When Blazing Saddles came out, Cleavon Little's character was fully drawn because he was written by Richard Pryor. Who produced Blazing Saddles? I'm catching a blank on the name. Mel Brooks, I got it. Mel Brooks, to tell the story of this black man who becomes sheriff. If you haven't seen Blazing Saddles, you have to see it. See, I'm showing you fully drawn out characters. How to make a quality movie. How to make quality movies your first time out. To draw this black man who was fresh from slavery, working on the railroad, who became sheriff of an all-white town. It took Mel Brooks to call on the comedy genius of Richard Pryor to tell the story. And that's why the comedy works. But if it was just he by himself, it would have fallen kind of untrue, because you only see it from a distance. You really don't know what it is. So you have to have people who are willing to be authentic. So I'm just giving you that. So that's on the psychological, because we're breaking DW Griffith. Okay? We're breaking that. And if you didn't know that and you've been producing it, you get a pass. But after you know it and you keep going, well, you're producing coonery. And so you have to now go back through and watch other things that you thought was coon, but you need to go back through and watch Empire again and watch it and see, are they fully drawn out characters, and do you know why they do what they do? If you know why they do what they do and they're not drawn one-dimensional coon, then it was more than what you said. But you were uneducated about what real images are of American black people. Okay, so this first piece is about the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds. How to make a composition. This is very important. And we're going to play just a little bit of each one of these, because, the game is to be sold, not told. And I'm all about, I worked hard to get it. So, you're going to have to at least pay that $1.99 to get each episode. You know what I mean? So, Let's play this real quick.
Lordlandfilms How-To series, instructed by Crazy D. The rule of thirds is a guideline used to compose great images that stand out within telling the story on the screen. Remember, the rule of thirds is composition of image. The rule of thirds. Let's begin with this sequence of shots which make up the opening scene from TBIC track. We begin with the establishing shot, move to the medium shot, move to big head, medium head and shoulders, move to big head, reverse angle, and then we end with big head, front angle. The rule of thirds has a grid used to compose. It breaks down like this: upper, middle, and lower thirds, left side thirds, middle thirds, right side thirds.
All right, so that's all we're going to give you on that. We're going to move on to the next one. So look, you see that every image, so when you watch the Black Ice Chronicles or you watch A Preacher's Life, it is set and it moves and it tells stories by establishing mid shot, close-up shot, head and shoulders, big head, reverse angle, on the conversation and the emoting. If you don't have at least 5 or 6 images in your opening shot and you only have one wide shot for 4 minutes long, you're not a filmmaker, because DW Griffith was doing, well, he wasn't doing what I do, but he was doing that and cutting and getting a close-up on people's face, especially when they killed the Negro. He's up there and he's balling it, but you have to watch it. If you're not doing 1915 and we're in 2020, you're playing, and you're playing with your people. I don't mean to to indict anyone. I don't mean to indict anyone. But this is how serious filmmaking is for American black people. Why does everybody want to be out in Hollywood when you have the ability to make it on your cell phone if you know how? Let me see, your smartphone, excuse me. Back in the day, your cell phone maybe. Your flip, your razor. But anyway, look. Why does everybody want to be out in Hollywood? You know where the funding system came from. The funding system came from a racist, D.W. Griffith. The first film he got financed was The Birth of a Nation, which means those people who financed it, and those probably the same people who still finance it because they passed from father to son, to daughter, to father to son, etc., etc. They all watch that film and it's in their mind. It's ingrained in their mind. When you can do it yourself. How to make quality movies your first time out. We just taught you about rule of thirds. Now, the next one, which alludes at the end of the first installment of Lordlandfilms, Crazy D teaching you filmmaking, we talk about jumping, crossing the line. So let's go into this and pay attention. We're here.
Lordlandfilms How-To series, instructed by Crazy D. Have you ever watched an Instagram comedy short skit where the person is supposed to be talking to someone off screen, and when the angle switches to show the person being talked to, the person from the second angle is facing the same way as the person in the first angle? It throws off the perspective and puts that person from the second angle in the first person's space. This is called crossing or jumping the line. Let's take another example. The actors are positioned in a shot or scene. Actor 1 appears in the rule of thirds to the left, and the second actor appears rule of thirds to the right. This is the establishing shot. It gives the viewer perspective on where the actors are pertaining to the room. It is also called front angle. But what happens when we apply reverse angle and the actors are on opposite position from the front angle? The answer, we have just jumped the line. Rule of film. Actor positions do not change from front angle to reverse angle. If they do, you have jumped the line. Let's look at front angle and reverse angle applied correctly from a scene from a TBIC film. As you see, the actors have their perspective positions in the rule of thirds within the establishing shot. It's time to reverse the angle, and as you see, the actors remain in their correct perspective positions as they were in the front angle.
All right, that's all we're gonna get. That's all we're gonna give you, because you may ask, Crazy D, is that all you're gonna give us? Yes, you got to go watch it. So right over there on Vimeo, you know, the game is to be sold, not told. And we get so in depth and intricate with it in the various episodes, and I'm constantly producing them and putting them up. Right? This is an ongoing process, because not only do you need to know the psychology, I just told you, DW Griffith, and to break DW Griffith, The Birth of a Nation, you have to know the psychology, and then you're making your own psychology as American black people, and those images that they depicted in that film are still images that they have today in some black filmmakers. I don't even say American black. There's a difference between a person that's in America that's black to me, they're just black. But somebody who's American black, who is aware of what's going on, they're going to say, I'm going to correct this and leave the legacy behind so people will see something else other than those stereotypes that who's another famous W that everybody seems to love now, but remember
George W.
He left
HW.
All those people to die at the you remember during Katrina, he flew over and they were dying. But let's go on here. Here's another.
Let me say something quick.
Okay, go ahead. Let me pull it.
You know, it may seem like when I come with my perspective, it's like, oh, dang, she always coming with some kind of negative drop on something. No. Realism is often not very comfortable, and so D is providing for you some helpful tools, and he's giving you a preview, which is this is how things are done. If you haven't taken notice of this, you know, with some of our Caucasian counterparts and how they make their presentations and things like that, this is how things are done. So the vision is to be sold. If you are seeking to elevate yourself, there's always going to be some form of education that you must go receive. Whenever something educational is listed as free, either it's free to a point and you get the rest of it when you pay, or if it's free, it does not have value. All right? If it's all free from start to finish, you're not going to be accredited. That institution is not accredited. Like I see some herbal medicine stuff that I was looking into, and you got these courses online that are just entirely free. If I get a certificate from that establishment and I take that somewhere as a credential, it has no value. Right? It has no value. You didn't pay for it. But when you invest in yourself, that's making an investment in yourself. And if you have yourself set up as a corporation, you can write those things off. Keep your receipts. See, this is called building as you go along. So you know, you can see the rest of the clips of what he's showing you, and you can keep your receipt from the online purchase. You can keep the receipt, and you can submit that with your taxes for your corporate. Oh, you don't have a corporation. You just
Wait, man, you're moving too fast for me. You're moving too fast. We haven't got to the corporation building yet, right? Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to put the people in a mindset because, you know, I always be hearing stuff, you know, in the atmosphere, in the spirit realm, whatever you want to say. I be hearing stuff, and people was like, you know, he charging for. I mean, everybody's charging for something. It's called supply and demand. It's called goods and services. So, you know, if you're going to invest in yourself, it's going to take investment. You know, so he makes it very affordable for you to acquire knowledge because he wants to see you win. So he sticks a price tag on it. That's even a teaching tool. The price tag that he puts on it is a teaching tool to say, invest in yourself and level up. It's a teaching tool. All of it's teaching.
Well, you know, it's also unvaluable. And so it doesn't come for free. Oh, they're trying to clip again. What's going on? There we go. We got perfect streaming again. Okay. You know, unvaluable. So, you know, it's to be sold, not told. Like, you know, a lot of people out here doing it, they obviously didn't learn enough. So here we go. Let's go to the next thing.
Lordlandfilms How-To Series, instructed by Crazy D. Coverage, aka camera coverage, is a very simple concept. You shoot as many different angles as possible so that the editor's job is easy at the time of the film being edited. And what do we mean by that? We mean you capture and you shoot everything. You shoot what's on the script page, you shoot the interiors, the exteriors, the POV, the reverse angles in car mirrors. You shoot reverse angles on everything, front angles, low angles, high angles. You shoot every possible piece of film that you can.
All right. As we bring and we give information, right? That's called coverage, right? So I'm not going to even play the last one because I'm going to let that be a cliffhanger for you because you need to go over to Vimeo. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have the link because we're setting up the new platform for it on Vimeo. Then we're going to unleash it probably on Monday. I'll put the link in with this and put it on various different pages so you could get it. So, you know, it's Crazy D teaches film, Lordlandfilms style, right? So again, images, delivering images and entertainment that is not based on DW Griffith, right? Not based on The Birth of a Nation. You should watch The Birth of a Nation. It's up on YouTube. You should watch it all the way through. If you got your YouTube through the ether wire, through your large flat screen, you should watch it real big and take a notepad because it's silent, so you're watching images. Take a notepad and write down the various different stereotypes that you see still today, and you can link it back to DW Griffith and then look and see how many of those stereotypes are being perpetuated by black filmmakers. Can't be American black filmmakers because the American black filmmaker draws the character full, human, not a beast. even when Cube goes and gets the guy at the end, Cube's character, Doughboy, he gets the guy at the end. The guy is begging. He says, come on, man, don't do that. And he's giving him all kinds of reasons. And so, reasons why he's out there, reasons why he shouldn't do it. And it gives you an understanding of who he is as a person. So he's fully drawn in the end before Cube ends him for doing something to his own, to one of his, right? That was the genius of John Singleton, right? And then everybody else went out there to the surface level and started telling stories where the characters weren't fully drawn out. And they started doing copycats, and they weren't fully drawn out, and you don't know why the people are doing what they're doing, but yeah, and then the white producers, yeah, get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah. So what you got to say?
You know, this is very educational, and I venture to say probably the only people who know this stuff are the people who are not producing that type of content that's arriving at that, because people don't listen. People are instead of being quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath, they are quick to speak and not quick to hear, not quick to learn, because there's a source of pride. But you know, art, any kind of art is an expression of heart. So even from start to finish, from the educational part of it to the execution part of it, it is the approach is of the art is what's in your heart. So you're gonna approach it from that standpoint. You can't give it more than you got. I mean, you can't produce any more than what's already in you. So the thing is that people have to go within and increase their output source from within them. Else your art is going to be trash. Like, you know, Dee was saying earlier about some of the expressions of things that he's seen with this one single shot angle of just looking at two people. That's like, you know, a flat canvas without, like, if a painter is painting a picture and he doesn't know how to put in the shadows and things like that to produce a product. There used to be this painter guy, I forgot his name, and he used to have a television show, and he would come on and paint. I mean, it was amazing just how he could take his brush and dip it in the white paint, then the blue paint, and make a shadow. And by the time he 30 minutes, a 30-minute broadcast, but probably 15 when you include commercials. So in 15 minutes, he has painted this whole scene that includes a sky, a ground, and everything is clearly defined in this picture. And it's beautiful because of the way that he put it on the canvas. And that takes skill. That took know-how. And so he was teaching you on that show as he was doing it, just like we're doing today.
After you finished, they gave a warning. Okay, they gave us back to perfect streaming. Now, wow, there was something out that they didn't want out. Was it DW Griffith? Did I let a
yeah,
secret
probably.
Out? I let a secret
probably
out. Wow.
With his hidden blackness, he tried to do things against. Yeah, that's probably what it was with his hidden blackness. That so by coming against black or disparaging blacks, or by painting blacks in a negative light or in a comical light, a stereotypical light, he can then reinforce the narrative that he's not black. Not happening.
He was hiding in the white. It was the white underbelly. But anyway, people, we are headed speeding in the car. The car is fully The rubber is to the road and we are moving. We're moving, speeding. Tomorrow will be Thursday. Then on Friday we have Keith Lee, Stockton, California filmmaker, independent filmmaker and director who has his offering up on Amazon Prime. We have the interview with Keith Lee. You want to tune in. You definitely want to mark your calendars. 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Hashtag ObservationTFR. You can hear us on replay on all of these podcast providers. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast, right? Of course, hashtag TFR Podcast Live, the film review, movies, music, culture, politics, society podcast, every Sunday, 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, every Sunday. That's the flagship. And we have some more programming coming up for 2021. And we have, let me show you this real quick. You can go watch this now, right? Right on Vimeo, right? You see this advertised every time on the front of the show is the Black Ice Chronicles Back in Cleveland, right? Movie, hashtag TFR approved. There is a message in every film. There is no buffoonery, but it will have you entertained because you will say, I know somebody like that. I've had an experience somewhat like that. Right? Back in Cleveland movie. Up now on Vimeo. You can go right to Google and type in the Black Ice Chronicles Back at Cleveland on Vimeo. Or go to Vimeo and just type it in. It comes right up. You can watch it right on demand. Or you could go see the one that wanted me out in California. Curator's pick. The Black Ice Chronicles The Shifter. Hashtag TFR approved. Up now. Right? You can go watch these films. These are the trilogy +1 films. The first 3 that I show you are within the trilogy. Right? So let's just calculate and moves over. There we go. So these are the ones that I'm showing you are in the trilogy of films that star MC from Cleveland, Ohio, Poison Ivy. And this one is TBIC, the Black Ice Chronicles Situations movie. That's the film that's thirds. LA, Los Angeles, and Cleveland. And it tells the stories there, right? That's Situations, up on demand on Vimeo. We've been on demand for a very long time. I know people are happy to be on, white platforms, and I don't knock them for that, because I was thinking, I should do that and make a feature length, and just do it. And then Females is the first film that introduced some of the characters that are in the trilogy of films, right? That was more like situations that happened, and it wasn't like scripted where it told a full story all the way through. It was more like a Pulp Fiction type thing where the story was broken up and went to different places. That is up for people to watch, right? We just want to be clear with you that, you can watch what we do on demand, right? This right here. Season 6 of the Black Ice Chronicles up on Vimeo onDemand. You've seen this scene, and you've seen how I turned it from Saphir to 2 tones of color. Her dress was red, her dress was blue, his background was blue, her front was red, all done with lighting, you see? So when you're watching, you're also watching something where you can pick tips up, because what I've learned is from people is they what they call borrow. I don't borrow too much. I come up with new concepts and new ideas. That's how I used to do it with the mixtapes. If someone did something one way, I would go a totally different direction to be original. Season 5, Lordlandfilms on Vimeo. Season 5 of the Black Ice Chronicles, right? What else? You know, I'm able to show. I'm in more than proud to show my work because it stands up, and it's nothing to be ashamed of, and it sounds good, sound quality, pounding, picture good, edits, everything. Plus, I come with a purpose when I tell my stories. Welcome to the Black Ice Chronicles, Las Vegas, Nevada, people. That was one of the designs that I made when I had first moved out here to Las Vegas. That's a photo of me. I actually shot the Las Vegas sign, and then I turned it into a cartoon and drew that. And this is one of the ads that I did, which is a 3-image poster board. 3-image poster board for, bring this up right here. 3-image poster board. Let me break this down for a minute. Something happened. Okay. 3-image poster board for back in Cleveland, which shows you the action, shows you the 3 images. It shows you the medium wide and the 2 close-up big heads of what's happening in the action, right? So that's an instructional piece as well, showing you how your images should go from boom, wide, boom, and it could go in any order. It could go from her at the top to her at the bottom to the wide, or it could start out wide, go to her in fear, and then up to her at the top with the knife, or it could play just like how it is, knife, wide, fear. All right? So everything is a purposeful teaching tool, even as I'm doing promotion, right? That's right. So that you know, right? So, people, we love bringing you observations, right? See, I'm a hip hopper. We said that yesterday. You have to show me. You have to show me through intellect, through the written and verbal word, and through your intellect, how you're able to break down and describe your images, your imagery in your film. You've got to show me that you're better than me. Because I'm a hip hopper. Hip hop is about show and prove. And I show and prove all the time. And you know what? You know who I compete with? See, here's where you would lose, though, ultimately. Where you would lose is I don't compete with anyone else but myself. How can I do better than what I did before? These are what these shows are about, bringing you entertainment and being able to fast pace it, have my sister come in, have her sound good, her picture look good, boom, 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 boom. The things we do with #TFR Podcast Live. How can I do better than what I did? Because I was doing 4K camera, having to edit up the show, how can I then become a master at flipping images with a toaster? You've got to show me that you're better than me. You've got to have the intellect, the written word ability, and the spoken word ability to show me that you're better than me. But guess what? You lose because who am I competing with? I'll compete with myself. So, and that's how you should be in your creation. How can I do better than what I did? If people will focus, everyone has, we talked about this a couple of shows ago. Everyone has their own heartbeat. So that means that their creation will be different. Doesn't make it good or bad unless they don't have any rules or don't understand what they're doing themselves. Doesn't make it good or bad. It just makes it them. But if you're trying to be like someone else, just because someone else did something, then you're not being authentic to who you are as an individual, and thus so you don't succeed. So you have to work to make sure that how to make quality movies your first time out. Go back and watch this. When we put up the tutorials, go spend that $1.99 per one. It will be well worth it. They will teach you. They get in and out. They teach you what you need to know. And then you will be able to apply it to your film making. To make images. And watch this and watch the psychology again of DW and how your psychology should be working in a different way once you understand. Once you watch The Birth of a Nation, your psychology should just be totally awakened and totally anew. But if not, I mean, that's your business, I would suppose. But we've got 13 minutes. We got about 7:30, 7:40.
You know, it's amazing how the film industry and the music industry mirror one another in certain aspects. And what Dee was saying just now about expressing your own authentic self and not being a copy of anyone else. Now, incorporating or implementing techniques is not necessarily a copy, but if your end result and your product is seeking to be like something because, and here's where the mirroring comes in. In the music industry, if you have one label that puts out a person, they hit, they become a star, then the other competing labels are going to go try to find their rendition of that artist. It's a different artist, but they want to have theirs. So if label A has a Chris Brown, then label B wants their rendition of Chris Brown or a Chris Brown like artist who dances, who can sing and dance, who can perform and things like that, because the whole bottom line for them is record sales. So since this particular artist sells records, then, and he can sell merch, you know what I'm saying? All the other subsequent merch that comes out on that artist for that label, that is a benefit of having signed that artist. So every other label tries to find an artist like that artist who's generating so many millions of dollars. It's the same thing in the film industry. However, here's the backspin. To those labels they will go sign a whole bunch of artists that could be groomed to be like artist A at label A, but they don't put in that investment with that artist. And so what they usually do is they'll sign a bunch of artists to offset the money that they tried to filter in that artist. And then those artists fall through the cracks as just tax write-offs. So it's the same difference with doing film. If you're going to come over and you're going to copy, you want to be a voice, and whatever your artistic expression is, if you're a poet, a painter, a filmmaker, a musician, writer, whatever, you want to be a voice, not an echo. You want to be a voice. So if everybody in a particular industry is being exactly alike, then somebody ain't necessary. The only one that's still necessary is the originator. So if you are coming in being a copy of someone else, then you're not really necessary, or your run is going to be very limited, and you put yourself in that box by not being authentically you. And you have to be authentically you. You have to believe in yourself until it hits. It doesn't matter how many people, how many artists do you see even in the music industry? You be like, how they even get a deal? They sing flat, they sing sharp, they sing, but they believed in themselves and they had wonderful business acumen. That's the reason how they made it where they were, where you don't think they should be. And so it's the same thing with you. If you don't believe in you, then nobody else is going to believe in you. You have to be able to be, what do you call it? Aggressively humble. So you have humility, but you still have a type of aggression where you're going for what you want to do in your dreams, because that's what you were put here for. But you can't be a copy and expect to have longevity as a copy. Copies always, just like copying something on a piece of paper, copies are always, the ink is not always the best. It's not always, copies are not always clear. They're not always defined. Copies, their headings, their subject headings are faded. Copies, their subheadings are faded. In a copy, the subheading is faded. So you don't want to be a copy. You want to be an original. And so we here at hashtag ObservationTFR want to see you win. We want to see you win as you. You can't win as me. You can't win as D. You have to win as you, whatever your name may be. You have to win as you, but you have to have the tools first within, and then you need the education from the outside so that you're not sitting there as a bump on a log having conversations with people about how much somebody ain't nothing because you don't see yourself doing something. Now you're sitting there, you got time to sit and talk, but you're talking about how somebody else ain't nothing. But they doing their thing. They're making a living at their thing. They're not working for anybody else doing their thing. But you're talking, you're going to a 9-to-5 still. You're talking and you're saying they ain't nothing. But you don't have the chutzpah and intestinal and testicular fortitude or believe in yourself to come out as you, and knowing that you just may need a little education to help, to help push that along. We all need education. A doctor don't become a doctor without going to the school. The lawyer don't become a lawyer without going to law school. Everybody has to go to school of some kind to master their craft.
That's right. You got to go to school. Listen, people. We come to you every Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern with hashtag ObservationsTFR. Up on the screen right now are the QR codes, one for PayPal, one for Cash App. Matter of fact, if you don't do it with the QR code, go over to Cash App, $TFR Podcast Live, that's $TFR Podcast Live, and smash a few dollars on that account. We bring information to you, and we would appreciate your donation so that we can keep on bringing information to you. So right here, if you don't have a QR code, these will be up. You can come back, fast forward, and find them again, and use your QR code. Scan the QR code. If you don't have one, go to your Apple Store or your Google Play Store on your Android or your Apple Store on your iPhone and download a free QR scanner and scan these and swing over a few dollars. We will appreciate you. We will shout you out. You will be we will put you down as one of the executive producers. You get credit. It's always good to have an executive producer credit. So make sure you do that. We appreciate you. Listen, people. We appreciate coming and bringing this show to you every Monday through Friday. And then the flagship on Sunday, reviewing films. Because this show right here, #ObservationTFR, these are our viewpoints, our observations, right? There are opinions through our experiences. And when you have experiences, that's what you go by. You go by that experience, right? And that experience shapes the way for you. We appreciate you. We appreciate our people on Periscope, on Vimeo, on a certain social media site, and on the Film Review Life channel on YouTube. Smash the subscribe button, the like button, the share button. We don't do those fake numbers. We don't do that. We don't do the fake numbers. We do the real numbers, right? We be right alongside people in the Watch Next area, and they be having all those big numbers. Like, how'd that happen? Unless they really. But anyway, that's everybody got their game and let them play it. Listen,
I like that.
Everybody got their game, let them play it. Look, we appreciate coming to you. We hope that you get the information from out of these shows. This is the five shows, the 5 series, the 5 shows within the series, the independent do-it-yourself nature of. This is part 3, filmmaking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This Friday is Keith Lee from Stockton, California. He has his latest offering up on Amazon Prime. And we're going to talk all about that, talk about his career, what he does, what he puts into his filmmaking, what story he wants to tell coming from out of Stockton, California. And I can tell you that his images from watching the film, that his images are not stereotypical. That's what I'm going to tell you. All right. So, anything else you want to say before we close? Before you close out, anything else you want to say? We got 3 minutes or so. You got 150 maybe. Anything else you want to say?
It's been another robust show like it is every time, and we try to bring you variety. If you've been following us since episode 1, we have been moving along. We're moving along in a certain vein. So you can always count on us continuing to be creative and bringing you things that you may have not otherwise thought of. And sometimes we can get so caught up in the hustle and bustle of life that our dreams go on the back burner, or we like, well, I get to it, or then that I'll get to it one day becomes a source of frustration because you've never laid your hands to it. So we're always going to be pushing for you to develop what's inside of you, because that's how we were created. We were created to make our incomes from the internal. That's why we were given gifts. This what we're caught up in. We were not born for that. So we're here to help you win, and we are prayerful that you enjoy the content, and smash the share button, smash the like button on the broadcast. We'd appreciate it.
All right. So people, you have been watching another great, robust episode of #ObservationsTFR by Crazy D with my special guest host, my sister Tanya M. Congress. We will see you tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, Thursday, with part 4, the independent DIY nature of filmmaking. We'll see you tomorrow.
Here's the thing about your movie, why I made a curator's pick of the Hollywood Fringe Festival. Community, heart. Crazy.